Hello and welcome. In this video, I want to talk about failure. What do you think of when you hear the word failure? Normally, failure carries a negative meaning. You often hear the phrase, failure is not an option. If you fail, it's because you don't measure up. You're told that you failed because you're not smart enough. You're not fast enough, not determined enough. You're just not good enough. Everything and everyone around us says that failure is unacceptable. If you fail, you should hang your head and be ashamed. No, no. Where in the Bible does it say that we will never fail? It doesn't. In fact, His Word says we will have trouble. Still, some of us wonder, how many times can we fail before God stops loving us? By the way, just in case you're wondering, He will never stop loving us, ever. Your failure will not cause God to abandon you. That's because God does not love you because of who you are or what you've done. God loves you because of who He is. When was it decided that we are never allowed to fail? Who made that decision? Why aren't we taught that failure can be an opportunity? Is an opportunity. I want to tell you that failure is not only an option, it's necessary. Failure teaches many things. It teaches us what to do and what not to do. In school, that's called a lesson, not a failure. It forces us to improvise and be creative. We learn to use the gifts and talents God has given us. It strengthens us and teaches us perseverance. We learn that we can push through and not die from pain or embarrassment, and that the sun will rise again tomorrow just like it always does. We learn humility, our limitations, and that He, our God, is limitless. We learn the compassion of friends and strangers. We learn the need for God, how to draw close to Him, and how to depend on Him. Let's face it, most of us don't seek God because we love Him. We seek God in the beginning because we are desperate, because we don't have anywhere else to turn. So whether we like it or not, we are shaped and forged in the furnace of failure. It helps us learn who we are and what we're made of. It also helps us learn who God is, how much He loves us, and what He's capable of. All throughout history, there were many great people who first failed time and again before they were finally successful. You see, it's not about how many times you fail or fall. It's about how many times you get back up and start again. Real failure only happens when you refuse to keep going, when you give up, when you won't get up again. Still, failure haunts many of us. We can't seem to get past it or let go of it. We hold on to it and carry it around like our life depends on it. We as human beings have a tendency to carry many things that we were never made to carry, things that are too heavy for us, things that should have been left at the foot of the cross. What are you carrying that you need to leave behind? What are you carrying that you need to let go of and lay down? While God is infinite and unlimited, we are not. We are limited, finite vessels with limited capacity. Our brains can't remember everything. Our arms can't carry everything. Our hearts certainly can't hold everything. When we hold on to things that we shouldn't, like fear or hurt or failure, they take up room in our heart. And we don't have room to hold on to the things that we should, like love and forgiveness and kindness. So why do we hold on to the painful, the useless, the things that weigh us down? Well, because Satan is dependent on the fact that we are focused on ourselves and the load we are carrying, and uses that load to keep us distracted, keep us in check, stop us from running a good race. He doesn't want us to forget about the things that are weighing us down. As long as we are focused on ourselves, on our failure, or our shame, we are not focused on God, His love, His mercy, and His plan. Have you watched marathon runners? They don't carry anything they don't need. Why? Because the weight slows them down and wears them out. It can keep them from finishing the race. You see, the heavier the load you are carrying, the more quickly it will wear you down. The more often you need to rest. And some of us are carrying very heavy loads. However, if you carry that load long enough, you will get used to carrying it. And when that happens, your focus becomes the load, which are your problems and worries, instead of the race, which is God's plan and purpose. Because we are limited vessels, we have to lay some things down in order to pick up the things of God, the things we need to finish the race, the things we are supposed to carry, the things that others need us to have in ready supply, like love and kindness, peace or purpose. What would happen if we learned to lay down everything that's too heavy for us to carry, the things we're not supposed to be holding on to, like fear, pain, unforgiveness, or the stigma of failure, and all those other useless things we don't need? Really, do we need to hold that grudge for that long? Do we need to worry so much? Will it make things better? What would it be like to walk in freedom, to run the race without the burden of extra weight, for our focus to once again become the race, God's plan? God reminded me that it was me that nailed Jesus to that cross. My rebellion, my selfishness, my hate, my sin. Do you know what He did to me in return for that atrocity? My God, He gave me life, abundant life, and freedom. To not walk in that freedom is for me to waste His sacrifice, to treat it as a common thing. But it's not common, it's precious. There is a place for all the useless things we carry, and that place is at the foot of the cross. Let them go and lay them down. They are not for you to carry. Good day, and God bless you.